guys, welcome back to the channel where we spill tea left, right, and everywhere in between. In today's video, we are covering the ever-ongoing Jeff Wittek and Ethan Klein drama with a new player, as well as some good old Trisha Paytas tea. But before we get into it, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any new updates. Head over to the Hot Tea Twitter account where you can get any updates and send us any tea or topics that you would like to hear about, including deep dive topics on your favorite influencers. For now, let's get comfy and spill some tea. So it's been literally just a couple of days since we talked about Jeff talking about Ethan on his podcast, and then Ethan talking about Jeff on his podcast, and that they're going to get together and talk, and now everything has changed. If you missed the last video we did on Jeff and Ethan, I'll link that below and you can catch up afterwards, but since then, the Jeff and Ethan meetup has been cancelled. Ethan is on a streak with this. After Ethan reacted to the podcast Jeff put out titled Dear David, there was some honestly really unexpected drama between Ethan and Jeff's friend Cody, who was a guest on the Jeff FM show that day. Throughout Ethan's reaction during his podcast, he was poking fun at Cody as it seemed Cody couldn't stay focused on the conversation, and it seems that Jeff's team cut to Cody a few times just doing some sort of random thing on his phone and whatnot while Jeff was talking. Ethan being Ethan, he couldn't help himself but poke fun and make jokes about this. I will say that I watched that podcast of Ethan's and it did seem all good and fun, but Cody didn't take it all that way. It turns out that Cody got into Ethan and Hila's neighborhood, which is a gated community, and took videos of Ethan's house and car. Cody posted to his Instagram story saying, quote, "You don't know me, son. Keep running your mouth." Cody proceeded to post videos of Ethan's house, pretty much doxing them, which is really not cool. Another story post that I noticed was this picture that Cody shared that honestly gave me the vibe that this was a running joke, but showing up at someone's house and posting it on social media crosses a line. From what little I have looked into Cody, it seems that he does not like the influencer thing and thinks that social media is bullshit and seems to not want any part of that life, which is fine. But what maybe he doesn't understand is the severity of doing something like this. If he did it to do it as a joke, he just needs to know that not only is it not funny, it's also dangerous. He was also supposedly saying pretty threatening things in this video, which would be scary from the other side. Like, Hila just had a baby. She doesn't need to be worrying about some guy showing up at their house. Ethan mentioned the situation during his most recent podcast and said that Jeff's appearance on the show is cancelled for good reason, but he doesn't actually think that Jeff really had anything to do with this. Ethan and his team actually broke down the footage that Cody shared, and it turns out that the first drive-thru that Cody did past Ethan's house was posted the day before anything was said on the H3 podcast. Ethan mentions Jeff saying at the end of the Dear David Jeff FM episode about not needing the address to come on the show and not worry about sending the address. So Ethan and his team speculate that maybe Jeff did know this was going to happen, or possibly they're referring to having the home address. That's a little unclear at this point still, and still showing up at someone's house is just not cool. Posting their house on the internet when they have a large following is not cool. You shouldn't do it to anyone, joke or not. Ethan says that he was fully Team Jeff and wanted to help with lawyers and everything, but this is just disturbing and it seems that he's not sure if he can get past this. And honestly, I think fair enough. When you have a family to worry about and stuff, the last thing in the world you want is for your address to be compromised. What's your guys' thoughts on this whole situation? It's a joke that went too far. Are you guys Team Jeff still? Were you ever Team Jeff? Let's discuss in the comment section down below. But maybe before you develop your entire opinion on that, let's talk about Jeff's response to this. Jeff actually excuses Cody's behavior and says that he is mentally disabled, schizophrenic, and says, literally, I quote, "What do you expect when he spent over half his life in prison?" Jeff says that Ethan poked and poked at him and that Cody wasn't there to be involved. It was just there to be moral support for Jeff while he told his story. I just have a very quick opinion on that. I was under the impression that both Cody and Jeff talked about how it wasn't cool that David made Cody out to be this criminal and that he was finding it hard to acclimate to normal life now because he was known as this criminal. So I mean, is it safe to say that he doesn't want him to be represented as this big bad guy, only to literally show up at someone's house and post intimidating videos from outside? Anyway, Jeff says that he was the one who actually canceled the H3 podcast appearance and not Ethan. He says that their sense of humor doesn't really line up and he didn't like how many shots Ethan took at Cody. Jeff says that he is over making super serious content and wants to get back to the vlogs and the barbershop stuff, and he will not be going on a I Hate David tour or I Hate H3 tour. He just wants to get back to doing what he loves. So we will see if that is the end of that or not. But let's talk about Trisha Paytas real quick. A TikToker posted a video this week saying that Trisha Paytas is the last person that should be mothering a child, and it was met with a rather irate response from Trisha herself. Trisha responded to the TikTok and said that normally she wouldn't respond, but she says that something like this just rubs her the wrong way, and for a lot of reasons. She says that everyone is entitled to their own opinion and continues with what I believe is about a 4-part response on TikTok. Trisha breaks down her experience this past few years, saying that she hit her rock bottom and was in and out of mental hospitals, as well as abusing prescription drugs while also having untreated mental health issues for a very long time. Since about December 2020, Trisha says that she has been clean and in active therapy to deal with her issues, and states that the moment she found out she was pregnant, she was a completely different person. In addition to the treatment and becoming pregnant, Trisha says to all the people that claimed that she has a mental breakdown every day that she has disengaged from drama and hasn't been involved in anything for almost a year. How true is this? Def Noodles posted to his Instagram and made a good point about this, saying that while Trisha does have a good point about the pregnancy, the drama-free thing is not exactly correct. With the frenemies thing only ending last summer and Trisha even having commented on the Jeff Wittek situation, it's really only been about half the time that she claims being drama-free. Def Noodles also points out that she clickbaited so many live streams recently, although she hasn't created any videos about any other creators, which is, always a plus. Here is some of the past drama between Trisha and Jeff. I'll throw this up here real quick so you can pause to read if you missed any of this. This was back in June 2021 for context. Trisha mentions during her TikTok rant that cancel culture demands people to change, and then when they make efforts to change or show that they might be on a new path, everyone chimes in and says no and that you'll be terrible forever.
We cancel people to want people to change, and as soon as people change, people don't allow it. They want us to be stuck in that little hole. I'm married, I'm in a stable relationship, we went to fertility for this child, this is all we've ever wanted.
What's your thoughts on this specifically, you guys? Has Trisha shown progress, a step in the right direction? And if you think no, what would it take to show that she has changed? When it comes to people getting pregnant and starting families, I do think that it's a little cruel to say things like she shouldn't be a mother, and I bet that really hurts on the other side. But I think, like, this TikToker, if you are going to say things like that, shouldn't you, elaborate a little bit more? I had just a small scroll through this TikToker's videos and I didn't see anything else in ways of an explanation as to why she thinks this or even why she said this. Some may say that there is plenty of evidence out there to show that Trisha might not be the world's best mother, and I had a look at the comments as well, which seems pretty split between people agreeing and disagreeing. Some comments that are on the side of the TikTok read, her pregnancy will be her new personality for the next 9 months. She has a breakdown literally every day. Can you imagine how that kid is gonna grow up? How is everyone disagreeing? This girl is right. Well, some people actually hop to Trisha's defense and say things like, bruh, how does it affect you? Let her be. Unless you know her personally, you shouldn't be telling her or anyone else that they shouldn't have babies. Even if my worst enemy got pregnant, I'd still wish them the best. How can anyone not be happy for someone else, especially when she thought she was infertile? Of course, no TikTok back and forth is complete without another response from the original poster. Trisha said that she won't lie and that stuff like this does hurt and she is human, and she just wanted to respond to this even though she claims that she normally will just block stuff like this. She says that she feels bad for people like this because she used to be the same way and it all comes from self-hatred. She says that the bottom line is that happy people don't spend time criticizing and hating on other people, and this is all just being done for attention. Trisha says that saying things like this in regards to someone else's pregnancy and choices is gross, and she says that she'll be an amazing mom. So there. That's gonna be it for today's video, you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to give the new video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell as we do post new videos every single day. Let's discuss your thoughts in the comments, and until next time, here's some cuteness for you so you can hopefully enjoy the rest of your day.